You're watching The Circle, and tonight over 16,000 Australians without a place to sleep will spend the night on the streets or under bridges and in parks. And when these people are turned away from homeless shelters, if they're lucky, they're handed a swag or backpack bed. The creator of these life-saving devices joins us with his co-creator and wife. Please make welcome Tony and Lisa Clark. Great to meet you. Like, this is such a great idea. Can you tell us where the idea came from?
Well, I was just sitting in church one day and the idea just popped into my head, and basically we had to figure out, well, what do we do? Everybody can see there's tens of thousands of homeless turned away from shelters, and we had to think of something, so we came up with a backpack bed.
Can you show us? You've got one just here. Now, I think it's a tricky thing, because if you by creating something for people to sleep in, you're acknowledging that they have nowhere else to sleep, and a lot of people would like to say no, there are places, but sometimes there just aren't.
Exactly, and sometimes people are turned away with nothing, or if they're lucky, perhaps a blanket. But none of us have probably been camping and just taken a blanket.
No.
You know, it rains outside, there's a lot of wind, and so, you know, something more dignified and something that actually helps people was needed.
So this is handed out to people.
Unique design, because it's a backpack that you can take away, and then you roll it out as I suppose the iconic Aussie swag, don't you? So, and whereabouts have these been placed to help people that don't have anywhere to sleep?
Well, we distribute them via 180 charities around Australia, and when they're turned away from a shelter empty-handed, they give them one of these backpack beds.
Wow,
That's amazing.
180 charities.
And increasing. We're only limited by our funding, and last year, sadly, we had to turn away 38 charities.
Well, that's part of the reason why you're here, is to try and raise money, because this is apparently not funded at all by the government.
Correct.
No government funding. It's all from corporates and the public, and just do-gooders like you and me.
Now, tell us about some of the people that receive these. We have this notion of the types of people who are homeless, as the smelly guy on the street who's been there for 20 years maybe. But you're talking about a lot of younger people.
And certainly a lot of our recipients are actually men, and around 87% of them are men, but about 30% are between 25 and 35, and another 30% between 35 and 45, so they're actually a younger man. And we've met people on the streets who've got university degrees, who can speak multiple languages. You know, they're regular people like you and me.
And what's happened to them,
They've
Lisa?
just had a series of, you know, things that have happened in their life. Perhaps it was mental illness, perhaps it was a marriage breakdown, things that could happen to anybody, and it's perhaps just a series of these that have happened, and it's spiralled into them becoming homeless.
And a lot of, particularly in Melbourne, I've met a lot of people who are homeless. They are going and holding down a corporate job, for example, and trying to make ends meet, but they literally do not have a home. And you have such a misconception about these people and the whole understanding of homelessness in Australia, don't we?
We do, and I think, you know, we're focusing on those who don't have shelter tonight, but you're right, there's many different types of homelessness, and the overall homeless population in Australia is over 104,000.
Now, do you sell these? Obviously, you give them away to the homeless, and that's brilliant. Are these able to be bought for other people to use?
Yeah, well, basically due to the need, everybody liked them so much, we said, hey, you might as well start buying them. So people can go to our website and now buy one for themselves. So they're really that good. And it's really important that we show that whatever we give to homeless is good enough for you and me, because that's like treating people the way you want to be treated. And since I'm 6'5", made something a little bit more luxurious.
That is actually a really... I remember we got given towels for an engagement present, and it was a really tall person that gave us towels, so they were massive.
Massive towels.
So you've got to cater for everyone.
That's very kind. Now, we've got some video of guys who might have the need to use them, kind of explaining how to roll them out. It's a pretty simple procedure, isn't it? You just take it out of its backpack, and its backpack is kind of built in, so there's no bits to lose.
Correct.
Everything's built in. There's no poles. It's got built-in ropes. It's got a fully functioning ergonomic backpack with pockets. It's got a bed built into it. It's all fire retardant. In fact, it meets 47 international standards.
Wow. Speaking of standards, you've won awards for this.
Yes, we've won many awards, about 4 globally. We're in multiple museums around the world, in Germany, in Sydney, etc. But the #1 award that's really passionate about is the Human Rights Award for Australia. That's the #1 accolade. It's about giving dignity to homeless, and homelessness in Australia is actually a human rights issue.
Good on you. You're doing it with such integrity and passion for this, and making such a difference to people's lives. How can the people watching at home that want to get involved can they, you know, I'm just thinking we often do a lot of where we buy something for through World Vision or Oxfam, where we support a community. Can we possibly buy these and then they get sent to a charity?
Definitely. So you can actually go to our website, you can actually buy one for a homeless person.
Awesome.
As well as that, you can buy one for yourself, which you actually get to take home at a recommended retail price, however, and that way all the profits actually come back into the charity. So people can also join us on Facebook, fundraise. We'd love, you know, the people out there to get involved.
So if you're wanting to buy a swag for someone, which I mean, I bought a swag for my brother and didn't even have this opportunity, you're better off to buy yours because some of the money will go back to the charity.
Exactly, 100% of the profit goes back into the charity.
It's just fabulous. You can find out more about their fantastic work on our website, but please thank Tony and Lisa Clark.